welcome to Vetted Conversations, where we delve into the foundations, workings, and current challenges facing our American experiment. In today's confusing world, it's more important than ever to understand what keeps our nation strong and how we, as patriotic citizens, can actively participate.
Our mission is to ensure that you, the listener, gain the knowledge and insights alongside us, your veteran and military family member hosts, to become more informed and engaged citizens.
In a world of partisan noise, we lead with a bias of patriotism, cutting through the static with clarity, insight, and action. Join us as we learn together and help equip you with the tools to protect and preserve what matters most, our shared American ideals.
Here's our recent interview with Jackie Chang, the Director of Media Strategy and Business Development at the NFL.
I originally hail from Los Angeles, and it was a post 9/11 era, right? I felt just compelled to do something more with my life, and so learned about West Point. I don't have any prior military service in my family, but learned about West Point through two cadets who had graduated earlier from my high school. They came back to do their recruiting spiel, and I happened to be, in the right place at the right time. Mm-hmm. And I decided that was what I wanted to do. So went to West Point, graduated in 2007, and then entered the Army as a military intelligence officer.
Oh, am I? So you went to Huachuca then?
Yeah, went to Huachuca, and ended up doing 7 years total. I did deployment to Iraq, deployment to Afghanistan, did company command at Fort Campbell. And then after I finished that role, I was like, you know what, this is a kind of a good time, transition time to get out. And I had no idea what I wanted to do, no idea what was out there. Yes. And so rather than take the first thing that came along, I was like, you know what, let me just buy myself 2 more years. I'll go back to school, I'll get my MBA. So I went over to Boston and got my MBA from Harvard Business School.
Heard of it. Yeah, heard of it.
And it was, from there that I really started to learn about what was out there and that I could actually make a career in media and entertainment. I had always been very passionate about TV and movies. My mom used to yell at me when I was a kid, stop watching so much TV, stop doing your homework in front of the TV. And now...
Look at me now, Mom.
Yeah, now we laugh. And I was like, see, look, I now do it for a full-time job. And so after I graduated, I did 2 years at Comcast NBCUniversal in their rotational program. Great foundation of learning about all things media. And it was in one of my rotations that I did a stint with NBC Sports. And until then, I was thinking more so I wanted to be on the movies and TV side, and then got bit by the sports bug. And ever since then, I've been in what I would say more specifically sports media. And specifically, I started in streaming. So that was at a time when streaming was not big. And it was great really being part of the, kind of on the ground, getting in on the ground and helping to build streaming within NBC. And eventually moved over to Peacock, which is NBCUniversal streaming service.
Yeah.
So you may have heard of that too.
Yep, I've heard of and they get some of my money every month.
And after 5.5 years there, I was like, okay, it's time for a transition, and an opening here at the league came along, and so now I've been here for 3.5 years, and what I do is work on and lead our TV licensing deals. So I work very closely with our TV partners like NBC and CBS and Amazon, and we partner together to bring football to our fans.
Since we've had the NFL as a partner, it's always struck me how much of an overlap there is between the people who watch football and the people who support veterans. Do you find that working with the NFL, do you find that same kind of culture? Do you find similar cultural elements to when you were in the military?
Yeah, I would say the NFL is definitely very much a very strong team, similar to what I learned and how I grew up in the military. It's just a group of really smart people who want to do great things and want to work together as a team to achieve those great things. And we are the league overall is a small group of people that does a lot. And so in a way also, we have that shared, common bond of we just work a lot. We get a lot done, but the way that we do is we work a lot of hours together. So in a way, it's kind of like late hours. I think about it, I kind of equate it to being out in the field in the military with your team and like doing all this stuff together, like late hours in the office together, kind of building those team bonds.
I'm sure very impactful though.
Yeah, yes, for sure.
Yeah, that's awesome. So let me give you a rundown of what we're doing. As you know, the Army will be 250 years old this year, so will the Navy and the Marines. And so we're focused on acts of service as well as leaders, 250 leaders and 250 different acts of service, highlighting those ahead of the U.S. turning 250 next year. And it's funny because I've been having this conversation a lot as we give our elevator pitch, and people are like, the U.S. is 250 after the services? And I'm like, of course. Like, how do you think we got the U.S., right? We had to ask people
the Revolutionary War.
Yeah, we're like, hey, you group of people do this, you people do that. Working with the NFL, it's definitely, you touch a lot of customers. Well, I mean, the product touches customers, but do you find yourself doing any other giving or like civic duties or responsibilities in your personal life or day-to-day?
Yeah, one thing that I've always tried to do, that the transition out of the military is not an easy one, right? And it's one that I have gone through. As I was going through it, I talked to so many people who helped me along the way, and so I feel it a responsibility of mine to help people who are coming after me as well. And specifically, given that I work in sports, it's a sexy industry, and I've met a lot of folks who are either in the military currently or thinking about getting out that want to get into the same space. And it's not the easiest to break into, right? So I, definitely take all the time that I can to have chats with people and kind of help them think through what do they want to do, think through how do they perfect their elevator pitch, help them work on their resume, and really kind of help them put their best foot forward as they get out.
Yeah, what you just said there, that's aligns with what we do, or we're just right down the middle, because same, right? When you're getting out of the military, so much of your identity is tied to your service. Yeah. And so for me, I remember thinking, all right, I've given, I did the same as you, Iraq, Afghanistan, 15 months, 4 months. And I was like, all right, what do I do next? I applied to a couple of grad schools, didn't get in. And then I said, you know what? I want to move to New York. And then eventually started my own company, and, but the point about when you're getting out and you don't know what your identity is or what you're trying to do next, we like to help out in that space too. We like to give veterans something to hold on to reach out to a community, to also give. We have a nature of giving and serving, just most veterans, so a channel to plug into when they transition out. So other than that, are there any projects or programs that you're working on that you want to highlight and reach out to our audience and tell us to take a look at?
Yeah, one more so that was, I would say it's still relatively new, is the NFL is just getting started. I'm part of the charge in leading this, of standing up a veteran ERG at the NFL. And we, are still new, so we're not trying to boil the ocean all in year one, but ultimately, part of our mission is not only just to educate the internal league employees around the military experience, the military family experience as well, but also help, leverage the NFL's resources to go out externally and help transitioning service members, help, military spouses as well, and families. And so I think more to come there, but we're definitely just getting started.
We partner with you all in, obviously, with the NFL, and thank you for the space. This is wonderful, but I'm sure that there's ways that we can continue to overlap. I'll reach out to you and see if there's any, calendar events or things that you all are putting on that we could add to our 250. Okay. And maybe there's an overlap there.
No, I love that.